Hey, yo, what's good, everyone? Welcome to the AllIslanders.com podcast. My name is Jared Flax, and I'm your host for these podcasts. I'm alongside my two co-hosts, Chris, also known as Only Islanders on Instagram, and David Lazar. We're all writers and editors at AllIslanders.com. We're also alongside our producer, Scott Fingeroth, who is also a writer and producer and editor.
So, hey guys, I'm David Lazar, and we just wanted to start this podcast just so we have another way to connect with you guys besides the site and the Instagram. So we really hope this is a success, and we're just hoping this podcast and the rest go well.
Yeah, I'm Chris, also known as Only Isles. Obviously, I own Only Isles on Instagram. I've also been a writer for about a year or so now, and just the same as David said, we just want to do something new.
Hey guys, I'm Scott. I've also been a writer since I think it was like March I started, but I'm really happy that we started this. And as they said through the website and the Instagram account, live streams, it's not enough, and we think that this will help communicate with you guys more and have a little fun just talking Isles in the NHL.
So, guys, our first topic for today is going to be about the rest of the season and how important it is, and specifically our basis of being on the road because 21 of our last 31 games. 31 games, yes, 31 games are all on the road. So, how, guys, I just want to your opinions on how important our road basis needs to be and how we need to take it day by day because. Chris, I think you told me last week we're playing every other day, and most of those games are away. So
yeah, we play Ottawa on Saturday. Then we play another right after that Colorado. Then we go every other day from all next week and the week after that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I just think that on the road, the thing is you just got to make your presence known early. You're gonna be in a there's gonna be a lot of fans there hoping to see an easy win because they. Islanders haven't been that good this year, but
if you're playing in Florida.
Except Florida, yeah. But you gotta go into the game confident and just knock it off to these starts. The Islanders take so many penalties early into the game, and when you take a penalty and give a power play goal, that's just a terrible way to start the game. And so far, from what I've seen this year, when the Islanders give up a power play goal early, which they've done a lot, they don't come back from that. So they just really need to get off to good starts this year and not dig themselves into a hole.
I mean, I agree with you guys. As I'm looking right now, before the end of tonight's game, our record at home is 17-8-6, and away from home is 6-10-4. So
just a little disclaimer, guys. Right now, it's the second intermission of the Islanders Philadelphia Flyers game. Islanders are currently up 2-1. Goals by Chimera and the Tavares goal in power play.
Okay.
Also, I'd like to add at this point of recording, the teams that we need to lose. I mean, a lot of them are losing, but a lot of them aren't. The Panthers are currently down 5-1. That's just a big one.
To the Kings?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Toronto's losing. That's good.
Yeah.
Bruins are winning, not too good.
5-2.
So I personally think that we should move on to our next topic, guys. I don't know about you guys, but I think we should move on to Doug Weight and his new presence as interim head coach and how he's dealt with the team and what's gone on since he's taken over. And so let's talk about our opinions on that. Maybe we'll then bring up the power play, how it's maybe changed a little bit, and go off of that. So, David, what are your opinions on Doug Weight?
So I've always hated Doug Weight just because his on the power play is just we were so bad for so many years, and he was never held responsible. I mean, he's been the power play coach for years, and our power play we've given him talent, and he just hasn't been able to put it together.
So right now, what do you say about that?
What?
Right now, what do you think about the power play?
So I really like how the power plays change, but it just baffles me how now that he's the coach, it's better even though he was in charge of the power play. I don't really understand that. I'm not around at practice or anything to see how things are changing with him as coach, but that just baffles me that the power play is all of a sudden good now. But I think if we can keep this up, we're in good shape because we just look so much better on the power play now. That's just such a way the power play is just such a way to gain momentum. I mean, Chris said the Washington series a few seconds ago. No one really responded to that. But if we scored one power play goal in the Washington series, we win the playoff series that year. I mean, the power play is so important, and he's done a good job as coach. I don't know how, but he's done a good job.
Well, again, another stat. Prior to the end of this game, we are 26th in the league in power play at a 15.4%. So I believe
that's interesting because I would have thought over the last few games it would have gone up because we've been getting a lot.
Problem
of
is,
power play
I think
goals and
it
stuff,
did go up.
since he's taken
Problem is, I think it did go up.
Really?
I think the big problem was it was both the penalty kill and the power play were absolutely atrocious in the beginning of the year.
19.
And then even though we're starting to pick it up on both sides, it's just they're just so far back that it's like I don't know.
Yeah, that's more of a statistics thing. I mean, we're halfway through the year already, so we're not, unless we go like 20 for 20, we're not going to build up that percentage that much. So no matter how good we do the rest of the year, that number's going to be pretty ugly. But we're in a good spot right now. We're in a playoff push. We're close. So all that matters, you could wipe the rest of the season clean and just look at where we need to go from here. And we're in a good shape right now. I mean, all we need to do, if we win tonight, we win a few more games. I mean, we're right there.
I mean,
So
we're
that's
already
huge.
right there. So
Yeah.
I mean, currently right now we sit 3 points out of the playoffs behind Philadelphia. We're currently 2 points behind Boston, who's currently beating San Jose 5-2. By the way, guys, just letting you guys know, third period's about to start. So if at any time you hear any of us cheer or something or get mad, it's probably because the Islanders scored or the Flyers scored. Just a little disclaimer there. Chris, yeah, go ahead, bud.
All right, sorry about that. So just to really emphasize the whole Doug Wade thing, I tweeted something. Actually, it was a photo since the coaching change. Obviously, you guys know 6-1-2. They now have a 3.67 goals per game, which is interesting because the goal differential I looked at a week ago, it was like minus 22. It is now even for us. And also our power play percentage.
2 more broken sticks on the same play.
22.6. Our power play percentage is at 22.6, and our penalty kill is at 88.9. And another thing to base off that goal differential, we are plus 14 in goal differential since December 31st.
That's
And when you look at the stats, goal differentials, my favorite one to look at, because the East is really close right now, so the teams not in the playoffs are close. We're plus 1 right now, I think.
I mean, every team has a chance.
And every other
Seriously, in the East, every team has a chance.
We're plus 1 right now. Every other team's minus 20. So that's a good sign.
Yeah.
But here's the problem, though. A good stat is we have not lost a game in regulation when we were leading after the third. Just think about that. So this whole thing with blown games.
Leading after the third,
games.
the game in regulation.
We haven't blown games. We've just lost close ones. So it's just like if we haven't lost a game in regulation when we're leading, it's the games that are tied that are the important ones that we need to win the rest of the season if we want to make the playoffs. It's the tie game. Games that are big.
Is that the Toronto game the other day? That was a very interesting game on a point off that because that game went back and forth the entire night, and that was a game where we blew leads and then we came back, and it was pretty interesting. I found out.
Mm-hmm.
That reminds me of.
The score Islanders up 3-1.
Zeker.
But
dude, you're 10 seconds ahead of me. I didn't see that. Who scored?
Zeker.
Zizekas has been good recently.
Maybe Zizekas has got that new morale because he's that you can play ambassador for the Islanders.
Okay, guys. So, on another note, Nikolai Kulemin, Casey Zizekas, they've been stepping it up a little. Kulemin's last season numbers to this year. Interesting, right?
I just think Kulemin is just, you know what you're going to get with him, and it's just anything extra is a bonus. And what he's been doing recently has been a bonus. I mean, he has been so good recently. First of all, Mason, these 2 goals that he's given up recently, really bad goals.
Oh, Mason, have you guys seen Mason's and Neuvirth's
stats
this season?
They're awful.
Let me look him up. Let me look him up for you real quick.
Yeah, if the Islanders have gotten Flyers like goaltending, we'd be if it wasn't for their streak, they would be the worst team in the East right now. So,
Steve Mason this year is as 16-6 with a 290 and a 900 save percentage. Neuwirth is not any better. I mean, he's been hurt. He's only played 18 games. Otherwise, he probably would have been even in games played. But he's 8-5-1 with a 279 and an 893 save percentage.
That is below average. That is below average goaltending.
Yep.
Yeah. So on to the next topic that I wanted to bring up. This is a question. This will get you guys to know Jared, our writer, a little better. So, Jared has been active in his criticism of Josh Bailey in the last 3 years. He's written multiple articles saying we should trade him, and he's just been really negative about him. So I just want to confront him and ask, what do you think Bailey's done this year to make him, one of our best players, and do you still want to trade him? Because I think the answer to that is yes.
My personal opinions of that are, Bailey, yes, had an incredible season. He could easily hit 50 points.
But you still want to trade him, though, correct? Because his value's high.
Correct. I do think we should trade him, and here's my reason why. The Islanders are in need of an elite winger. And yes, Josh Bailey's had an incredible season. You trade Josh Bailey for an elite winger, along with maybe we give up a pick or two. We'll get a pick also back.
We're not doing that. We're not getting an elite winger for Bailey.
Along those lines is what I'm saying.
We'd have to give up Pulock, too.
Well, would you rather give up Pulock, Dalcol are first, and Bailey for Duchesne, or keep Bailey, who's had insane synergy with Tavares this year, and pay him 3.3?
Duchesne's also
I say, my opinion on that actually is I want to wait and see how the rest of the season goes. After the season, I then want to see what happens, and I'll let you know my opinions once the season.
Value stays high.
Anyone see that play that Brock Nelson just had on Steve Mason?
Oh yeah, he just cross-checked him in the neck.
And then he got into a fight with Wayne Simmons almost. So. Oh, by the way, here's one of the bright spots for Philly's goaltending this year. The 4 games that Anthony Stolarz had to play while Neuwirth was hurt. 2-0-0 with a 1.79 goals against average and a 938 save percentage. But it's a small sample size. But he came in 2 games after one game Neuwirth was hurt, the other Mason was pulled, and then he started 2 games, one of them being a shutout versus his hometown Devils. So
to add on to that point, I know the Flyers definitely have Carter Hart. Don't they also have Felix Sandstrom or someone like that? I know they definitely have Carter Hart in net as a prospect, but I think they also have Sandstrom too. Who are 2 very capable.
Just to get a little off topic for a second, I'm sorry. Islanders are back on the power play.
Because for some reason Simmons got 4 minutes and Nelson got 6 or 2. Math.
Yeah, that's weird. So we'll keep you updated on how the power play goes. But back to our original topic with Bailey. I just feel like with the thing you said about trading him, this is just my personal opinion. I love Bailey because he's like the nicest guy on the team.
Great.
He's a very nice dude. I've met him multiple times. I've gone down to the locker room many times. I've met Bailey back into the years when the Islanders were bad. Bailey's a great dude.
And I think that contributes to the ice. That's like a pretty, like, you could think that's a stupid thing to say, but I think when you have players who are jerks, like some of the Islanders are, and then you have players who are real nice guys, I just think that's, I don't know, I just like that in a player. I don't know. I don't think Bailey's...
You know who's a nice guy who doesn't get credit for it? Nikolai Kulemin. Nikolai Kulemin is one of the most down-to-earth guys I've ever met. I've met Nick many times because I have actually, I'm not related to him, but I have family members who are related to Nick, or not related, who are friends with Nick. And I've met him a bunch of times. He is by far one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet out there. If you ever get the chance to meet him, have a conversation with him. He's a great dude.
Yeah.
There's other guys out there. And if I ever hear anyone say Tavares is an ass, you are wrong. Tavares is also another great dude. He's just very shy. Very shy. And
Have
that's
you-
the thing that he doesn't get credit for. He's a very shy
Yeah.
guy.
And one of our writers, Kyle Isnet, I don't know how to say his
Sinnett.
last name, but he actually wrote an article about how he was in the locker room and how he went on a trip with the team, and that's one of our most famous articles on the site. We definitely recommend you check it out. But in there, he said that he actually he talked to Boychuk. He said Boychuk was nice too, and he got a picture with Tavares, and he just said, Tavares doesn't say much, but he's just a nice guy. I don't know. He's the face of the team, but he's just quiet and just what you want in a captain.
I was a Thrasher fan for years. Our star of our team was actually Evander Kane. And Evander Kane he's a decent player, semi-decent, but he is not a good dude. You have faces of teams who are nice. You have John Tavares, who is a great dude. You have guys out there like Evander Kane who are just complete dicks. Andrew Ladd was also the face of the Thrashers for years. I was in New York a few weeks ago when the Islanders beat the Sabres 5-1. I met Andrew Ladd for the first time in, it's been 6 years. He was so nice. I said to him, I remember you in your days in Atlanta. He said, and I quote, "Holy shit, it's been forever. I miss it down south." And then we got into a 20-minute conversation. It just, some of these guys think sports players are just such asses. But just in general, they are just such good guys, and they get a bad rep for it.
Yeah, and the thing I love about the Islanders is, I don't know if you guys are active on Snapchat, but the Islanders have a very active Snapchat, more than most teams. And the things they do in the community is just amazing, the things they do. I mean, every off day, they're doing something. I mean, and the thing, they're every single day, I'm telling you, whether it's with the dogs,
the Isles Wives giving back the other day.
Or their wives. Yeah.
So I have a question for you guys. Community service, Matt Martin. I'm kind of paralleling this to Matt Martin leaving, but I also want to talk about I think we've gotten more into community service since Martin left and stuff. But do you also think Martin leaving was a reason that the season started off really shitty?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you think that fourth line, that core fourth line, is a reason? I feel, this is my personal opinion. I put this in my article I think it was maybe 1 or 2 weeks ago, The Ideal GM, about how Miroslav Satan would be a perfect fit as the general manager. I wrote how when Garth Snow let Matt Martin go, it let go a heart and soul of the Islanders.
That was a terrible play just now by Braden Chen.
It was. He fell in front of that. But I felt, losing Martin was a big problem that I didn't really see coming until the start of the season.
Yeah, and me and Scott actually did a article. We lost it with our news site, but I remember this one. We were joking around. We're like, what if the Islanders lose Kyle?
And we had no idea what was going to happen.
But we were like, nah, it's impossible. So we wrote all these articles about their new lines. I think I predicted we'd sign Parento. Scott predicted we'd sign like Helm or something. I don't remember, but we all predicted these things, and it was such a joke. We were like, this would never. It was just something for fun, and then it happened. And when it happened, I knew right from the start, we're screwed.
But P.A. Parento, Chris, I want your opinion on this, because I've heard you talk about this before. P.A. Parento, was it a bonehead move to get rid of Parento and waive him?
It absolutely was. He has 30 points?
He'd be like third on our team. He'd be like third on our team.
He's their top power play guy.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And not only, obviously, for right now, we found a great fit with Lee on the left and Bailey on the right. But also, to add a quick thought onto that, I've always thought Lee and Bailey fit well with Tavares, but Cappy switched up the lines like every single game, so it really didn't matter anyway. But anyway, but yeah, Parento would have fit perfectly on that right line. Sorry about that. Perfectly on that right line. Obviously, that everyone knows the magic, so to speak, they had earlier in Tavares' career, and I don't know what they were doing. I think they waived them to keep, who was it, Berube or Barzal on the team, and Berube's only played in 2 games or 3 games, and granted he's looked halfway decent, but Barzal's not even on the team.
Yeah, I don't know, that's a tough situation for Snow to be in, but I don't see how you could waive him for Barzell. I know you wanted
Look,
Barzell in
where
there,
is he now?
but
Tearing it up in
it's
Seattle, but
you can't.
Yeah,
No, I don't.
I
That is
personally
also
could have.
I don't
I
think
personally
Barzell's
could.
pro ready.
I could have personally seen, maybe you have Michael Dalcole who's been waiting for his chance. You want to keep him up, but Barzal, I mean, that was just a surprising move that I thought to keep him.
I
So-
could have told you that he was not fully ready yet. Like he's ready where he could pair up the WHL where he is right now, but
I have to
the
agree.
NHL.
Now,
Yeah. And the reason we're saying this, there are signs. I mean, there's just he's not small, but he's not he's not where you'd want him to be in terms of size yet, in terms of using his body. And another thing that gets me, just his first game. And I know you're allowed to have bad first games,
he
but just
he,
what he did.
he
with
played
two,
the
like,
puck.
those 2 penalties
He
back
played
to
the
back.
puck while he
That's
was
Against
in
Washington.
the penalty
Yeah,
box.
that's forgivable. Yeah, that's forgivable, but that's kind of an indication of maybe his head's not there yet either. Good kid, but maybe just he needs another year.
Yeah. It kind
Yeah.
of also looked like he's still in like an awkward stage with his body because obviously he's he has to be strong to make it in this league. But I don't know, it feels like he's like not fully done growing yet.
Mhm. I don't know. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. So
Can you elaborate more on he's not like done growing or whatever you just said yet?
he's young. He's only
Well, he's like
three-
19
he's 3
years
years
old.
older than me.
Yeah, he's like 19 years old, which is like what, a year older than me. And males don't stop growing until they're like 21 years old. So, I mean, obviously when he's only 19 years old, he's not fully done growing. I think he's 6 foot. So I think he definitely could grow an inch or two before he's done growing.
Yeah.
So you
with
said
that.
earlier you didn't think Barzal was ready. Anthony Beauvillier has been playing with the team almost the entire season. Do you think he's been ready at all? Like, I personally think he should be doing better if they would have kept him. I mean, you had P.A. Parento, like you said before, and you waived Barzal, or you waived him for Barzal, but he's doing better than Beauvillier. So
I mean,
was it worth it to keep
Yeah.
Beauvillier?
That's a very good point.
Yeah, that
But
actually
here's my
is.
opinion on that. I just think Beauvillier, this just shows he was one of those players who, Cap's issue. I was always pro Capuano, that is. But he screwed up with these prospects. You don't call a prospect
True.
up to bench him every other game. He's played every game underweight.
Mm,
Prince has become
but
the
Prince
third
is
string
on-
forward now instead of
Prince is on the fourth
Beauvillier.
line right now
And I
because
just think
Clutterbuck's
that-
out, but I think the Coleman, Cizikas, Prince line has been amazing. So I don't know what's going to happen when Clutterbuck is healthy, but
Yeah, that's tough. But so far, Beauvillier's been the 12th forward, not the 13th. So that's a good sign for him. I just think when you have a young guy like that, you can't be messing with him. That can cause so much harm for a kid's career. That he can't be in the players box every other game. He needs to be out there on the ice, even if that means benching. Kuhlman wasn't doing well until a few weeks ago. If you got to bench, you just got to bench. I think he needs to be out there. He needs to be learning the NHL game. Someone else needs to be benched over him. So I think that's why he wasn't. He's only played 30, 40 games this year. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why I think he wasn't doing great.
To add on to kind of what you've been saying about the whole benching people and stuff, I tweeted 2-3 months ago when Ladd was doing, it must have been like 2 months ago or a month and a half ago, when Ladd was doing terribly and literally was not producing a single thing, that if we sat Ladd, it would wake him up a bit. And sure enough, we sat him, and I think he got hurt or something like that. And
I don't think we
come
sat
back
him. He
and
got a minor injury.
Yeah, he's got a minor injury, which, I mean, has the same effect as, sitting. But also that report came out that he's been injured all year. I don't know if that's 100% true or not, but, I mean, ever since he came back from an injury, he's been, pretty solid. He scored like a goal almost, not almost every game, but he's been consistent.
Yeah, I think, again, with Cap, I love Capuano, but I just think his time was done. This team was not responding under him. I think Waite is waking him up. I mean, Ladd and Waite have played together. There's a sort of friendship and a bond there that Ladd's going
Carolina.
to Waite. So
Where did
I
they
really
play
like
together?
They won the cup
Where-
together.
Where?
Carolina.
I love
Yeah, it
those
was
guys.
Carolina.
Together.
Did not
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, so that's interesting. So I just think that's helping him. He's getting chemistry with Quine, which is interesting. I mean, he's playing with a solid line. I don't know. I think that's helping him. I'd definitely say.
With the line situation, I really like that Nelson Strome Beauvillier line. I really do. And even on Strome, Strome has always been a great playmaker in his career, but I've really seen him like step up his game and the passes he's making. I mentioned it before among us that the passes he's been making of late is just great. He's either creating goals or creating scoring chances when he's out there.
Okay, so I completely agree with you. Now, Strom, what would you rather? I mean, Strom has his moments. You know, most of his goals are like these incredible plays where like out of
Yeah.
nowhere, but like, you know, those plays are always good once in a while. And I just feel like personally, he's just trying to go for those big shining moments where he should be going for like the little moments, like and just getting more and more goals. You know,
Strome was-
Strom was a high
Yeah,
pick.
you
You
could
know,
say that about a lot of players. The
but
Islanders
but it's more
don't
Strom than
shoot-
anyone else.
Yeah, the Islanders don't shoot the puck, which annoys me beyond belief. When Bailey does this so much when they have a wide open shot and they'll pass to three people.
David,
Okay.
you're right. David, we were talking the other day. You said that exact thing, and you know, I have to agree with it. Bailey doesn't shoot. You know, I've talked about it. I wrote a keys to the
No, but
article-
not even Bailey,
keys
just
to the game
Strome.
earlier in the season. I wrote that keys to the game earlier in the season. It was against the Bruins. You know, they need to shoot, and
So-
they don't take shots when they have open shots. And you know, specifically
Three-
Strome and Bailey,
yeah.
like you said, they don't shoot.
Two or three of Strome's goals this year have been off rebounds of his own shots. I mean, when you shoot the puck in the NHL, you're either gonna get here's what it's gonna do. You're gonna get an offensive zone faceoff, you're gonna get a rebound, you're gonna get a goal, or you're gonna miss the net, and anything could happen from there. A shot is you're not gonna score if you don't shoot. So these players have to get into their head that just shooting's what you got. Shooting's how you.
Do you
score
mind
goals,
if
and that's how
I
you win
pop in?
games,
Oh no,
so
Chris, I'll let
they
you
gotta
go
shoot
and then
more.
I'll say what I need to say.
Alright, yeah, sorry about that. But the whole Strome thing with him not shooting also connects to how he's not exactly putting up points. Could that also be like he obviously hasn't underperformed this season and last season, and I forget his stats from 14-15. I thought they were pretty good. Obviously,
Oh, yeah,
not as good
50
as his
points.
rookie season. Oh yeah, it was 50 points. But could it also be the fact that he's a 15th overall pick, a fifth overall pick, and he had a pretty good rookie season, a tremendous sophomore season, which was basically full first season, and that he has just had all that pressure going into it. You know, oh, finally Ryan Strome's here, he's ready to play. You know, he's going to be this big thing right next to John Forrest, and could that also be a thing that could kind of mess him up a bit?
Yeah, but here's the thing. We've all contributed to this as writers, but I mean, it seems like, you know, if you Google Islanders and click news, there's something the case for trading Ryan Strome. There's something every week. I mean, I don't know how often he reads, you know, from the media or whatever he does, but it seems like there's been so much expectations on him. There's been so many things where he's been, you know, rumored to be traded. There's been so many events where he's been line switched and benched. There's just his career's been a roller coaster, and right now he's at the top of the roller coaster. But you know, it feels like with him, you know he's gonna come back down, and that's the thing that scares me with him. It's just like he's doing so well right now, but you know, let's see, Clutterbuck comes back, Beauvillier's benched, all his chemistry's gone. He could be back to being, you know, a point every 5-10 games. So that scares me with him. There's been so much pressure on him with Capuano. I mean, my favorite quote of the Capuano era was someone asked Strome before the Calgary Flames game, how do you feel about Cap? And Strome just responded, "You could ask him that." So that was like, you just know when that's like such a sarcastic answer. That you just know there's something going on there. So hopefully, as I've said, you know, 3 times this podcast, with weight, there'll be change. He'll be better, but I just don't know.
You know, I have to say, before we move on to our final topic of the podcast, we need to bring up the fact that he has 2 brothers in hockey. Dylan is in Erie right now.
Too good.
He got sent down from Arizona. I remember watching Ryan and Dylan come up in the face-off circle against each other, and I saw, oh yeah, this is the future of Arizona. Him, OEL. It's got to happen. Him, OEL, Nico Hischer. Because at that time, I knew Arizona was going to be god-awful this year. And so what I thought was... fun.
Oh, the Islanders on the penalty kill right now, guys. So another
Second,
point.
Wayne Simmons scored on the power play earlier.
Is it our
this
first or second of the game?
So when I saw that,
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, Strome can't be sent down regarding Dylan. And next thing I know, poof, freaking John Shaka, the 28-year-old general manager of the Arizona Coyotes, says that we feel that he needs to be demoted because he's weak. And Strome, the fact that Strome has a brother who also got demoted this year because he's younger, I think Strome... what I'm trying to say is between him, Dylan, and Matt, who's coming in this year, there's brotherly tension. So he wants to show that he's kind of one of the better ones too, even though he's going to be the second highest of the three, because Matt's not supposed to be that high this year. Anyway, you want to bring it over to our final topic?
Yeah, but I have a question first about David. Were you talking about John Tavares before? Did you? I thought you brought something up about the media or something, or was that not Tavares?
The media was with Strome and how there's always been a trade rumor, but what were you? I'll answer your question if you have one.
Oh, no, I have a question for all of you. Actually, this isn't our last topic. I just it's been going through my mind a lot lately. Is Tavares going to resign with us next year?
Yeah.
This
Has
summer,
to.
As soon
I
as
think
he's
he'll
eligible
do it this
to, he'll get it.
Like that would just suck so much. Like if he does.
Honestly,
Yes,
I
because next
think
year is his
he's
final year on the
eligible this year to
contract.
Resign, right? Like this
Yeah.
summer.
This summer?
I think that has to be the Islanders' first priority, and if they do not get a deal done throughout this summer or a matter of 5 to 10 games in the season, that is a massive fail.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
offer
wanna-
him.
I don't want to
you
go
walk
into
into the
something like that
negotiating room.
Stamkos situation.
Yeah, you walk into the negotiation because Toronto's gonna lure him. I'm telling you, if it gets to next
Yeah.
offseason, Toronto will lure him to they'll lure him there because I just think if you walk into the negotiation room and you just say, here's your contract, write how much money you want, write how many years you want, there you go. You got to do that. I think you do that, and he'll have to accept. That's what I hope.
Well, yeah, and Toronto could also
we've-
say, "Hey, look at all this cap room we have. Oh, you wanna play with a nice Austin Matthews? Maybe we can do a thing where he's either
Yeah.
on your left wing or something like that. Or do you want
Matt
to play
Martin's there. Matt
with,
Martin's there.
yeah? Do you,
You
want to
could play on
with
a line
your
with-
former teammate?
you could
or
play with-
you could play on a line with
Marner,
Nylander,
Nylander,
or
Matthews,
play with
Dmitry
You can play
Timoshov's
with
coming
Mitch
up.
Marner.
They have so
Or
much
you can
young
play with
talent.
Mitch
It's
Marner.
insane. They're
Yeah.
the cheat code of the NHL. They're the cheat code of the NHL.
That
Or
team's
they-
gonna win the cup in the next few years. Mike Babcock as a coach. With Mike Babcock as a coach and all that young talent, they're bound to win the cup within the next
That's what I'm
5
saying.
to 10
Garth
years.
Snow, Garth Snow's had too many duds in his tenure, and if this is a bold prediction here, but if he doesn't sign Tavares this offseason, I'm telling you, he
He's
may
gone.
leave, and if he does, Garth Snow will go down as the worst general manager in
You
Islanders
can't.
history, worse than
You
Milbury.
can't.
It's
Because-
Char
it's too
free
hard to beat
action.
Milbury.
Char
You
free
can't beat
action.
Milbury, David.
No, but
Okay,
here's the
yeah,
thing.
I wrote an article on that Milbury thing. You cannot get worse than Milbury.
No, you can because
Chris,
here's the thing.
elaborate on what you said in
no.
the article, please.
Here,
No,
let
no.
David finish his point first.
Thanks. The thing the reason why I think he's worse than Milbury is because Milbury did some really bad things, but there was potential there. There was, but he didn't single-handedly ruin that team. There were other factors.
Amazing.
What Snow
Amazing.
did, he got the Leddy trade and the Boychuk trade. Those were handed right to him by Chicago and Boston. They came to him. He accepted a no-brain trade. That wasn't on him. That was just taking advantage of the circumstances. He has not done any real good signings. He's not been good at developing draft picks. The reason why I say he'll go down as the worst GM ever if he doesn't re-sign Tavares is because he'll go from rebuilding a team pretty nicely to taking it away all in one off season, and that would be such a tease because you win
Yeah.
that series and you tease the fans with success and you just take it away, and that's why I think he's the worst because that would just be terrible.
Chris, can you elaborate on your article a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, so on my whole article thing, I wrote an article about Zdeno Chara and how the Islanders did have him, and also I added in Roberto Luongo. They had 2 franchise players.
Can't forget
in
Osgood.
In Roberto Luongo and Zdeno Chara. And within a matter of a year, Mike Milbury demolished that. They traded
And the pick, that
Chara
was Jason Spezza.
and I think it was some scrub and a first-round pick. Yes, a first-round pick for Alexei Yashin. So they traded Zdeno Chara, scrub, and which turned out to be Jason Spezza, and he was like one of the first ever players to be hyped up as this big thing, and they traded him away for Alexei Yashin, who I believe only played 5 seasons with the Islanders before they bought him out. And yes, he was the captain. Yes, the Islanders did enjoy some success from 2002 to 03, 04, and then eventually 07, which I don't think he was on that 07 team. And then with the whole Luongo thing, they did the same thing, traded away nothing.
Mark Parrish wasn't terrible as an Islander, though. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, and I
Parrish wasn't terrible.
I have his All-Star jersey.
Great.
Yeah, I have his All-Star jersey from like 02, which was the last time an All-Star game was in Los Angeles.
Okay,
yeah.
So
but the reason, just one thing, Jared, let me say one thing. So the
Well,
reason, back to what I said, you guys probably think I'm a little stupid for saying Snow would be worse than him, but the reason why I say that is because, while I agree with Chris's article, that was looking in hindsight, and you didn't know Char was going to be amazing. You didn't, Spezza you knew was going to be pretty good, but you didn't know he was going to be amazing. The thing that I say about Snow is, last offseason you knew that getting rid of Hosso, Nielsen, and Martin was bad. You knew we'd take a hit, and you know 100% that if we lose Tavares, we are done for so long.
Oh yeah,
that's why I say, if he loses Tavares, you know the moment you hear the news that Tavares signs elsewhere, until I'm 17 right now, I could confidently say the Islanders won't win a cup until I'm 30 years old. I can confidently say that.
Not only would you, I'm sorry.
No, you.
David, I'm confident enough to say with the team right now they won't win a cup till you're 30.
All right,
they don't have the skill level to do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, as I was saying, not only will you lose the talent on your team, you probably, without Tavares.
Oh, true.
In New York,
true.
In my opinion, who will want that?
Ooh, that's bold.
So you're going to be gone out of New York, and also you're going to lose so many fans even if you don't move out of New York. You don't know how many fans you will lose.
Yeah, that's crazy. If they lose Tavares, you know, it's not in hindsight. You know the moment it happens, Snow's done. That's terrible. And you just know the Islanders are done for years. So that's
on the note we're talking about a lot with GMs. September of 2015, Garth Snow made a really bold move and traded away Michael Grabner to Toronto. Grabner now is playing for the Rangers.
2020 hindsight.
6 goals this year.
That's hindsight.
But
he's hurt. He's hurt this year. He's been hurt since November. He had surgery. Before that, he was 6-0-0. But since then, he's been hurt. Carter Verhaeghe just got promoted to Bridgeport.
Yeah, Verhaeghe I thought was doing at least decent. I thought he was, out of all the people in that trade, even though he's not that big,
he still does.
Kind of the guy I was most excited about because he had potential, but yeah.
Yeah, but the reason why I don't like to talk about that is just because I just feel like that's hindsight. So that's why I don't want to talk about that.
Last topic.
Okay, guys. So, I think that's gonna.
We gotta hit up.
What were you saying, Chris?
Topic.
We gotta do the last topic.
The last what?
The last topic.
So, last topic this game, along with the rest of the season, matters the most. This game specifically, you're down 3 points in the standings. There's currently 2 minutes and 8 seconds left in this game. There is an empty net for Philadelphia. The Islanders are up 3-1. This game ends. The Islanders win 3-2, 4-1, 4-2.
I'll start.
How do you keep the momentum from this moving to the rest of the season?
Obviously, stuff like this is really good. Seeing
this is our last topic.
Seeing a team that has had goaltending struggles, but also had a double-digit win streak. They're still playing. Oh, fun. But
Ooh,
stuff like this, especially when guys like Clutterbuck and Hamonic are healthy, when they finally feel like Ryan Pulock is healthy enough to play an NHL game, when they think Dalcol or Hosang is ready, they can keep refilling them. But there is one player that if he comes back this year, the Islanders are set. And people don't realize that Mikhail Grabowski is currently on Long Island, and he is skating, and he's trying to come back this year.
Yeah, I don't
Prince.
think... Who do you take... We talked about this in the podcast before. Who do you take out of the lineup? I disagree with you there because it's been bad.
You take out Shane Prince, and you put him on the...
And you put him on...
You do. You take out Shane Prince and Anthony Beauvillier.
I disagree. Grabowski is not...
And then you put Clutterbuck on the fourth line. You're going to move a winger down to the fourth line. You're going to put Grabowski and Kuhlman together where they were when they both came here. Do I agree with what I'm saying right now? No. But logically, it's the right idea. I don't agree with what I'm saying, but it's the most logical idea to do.
No, I think the most logical thing to do is if you have all these pieces that you personally think can make a difference, what's changing any other teams? Maybe they can think they make a difference too. So I think if you have all these pieces, you're gonna just have to make a trade.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I've been pro Grabowski. I like him as a person.
That Eric Nystrom hit killed his career.
Tough injuries, but he's not a good hockey player. I mean, I don't.
All right. Can we talk about how he might have possibly CTE because he posted a video on New Year's Eve. Remember, this dude has gotten 2 concussions that were like big. He posted "Happy Birthday."
I need to figure that out. I don't know if that's true. Is it?
Yeah, this guy possibly might have CTE. He deleted it. I tried to find it the other day. He said "Happy Birthday." He was with his girlfriend or wife, whoever it was. He said "Happy Birthday." Started laughing. Goes, "I mean Happy New Year." And he was obviously drunk, so that probably.
That is actually really interesting.
That's funny.
Yeah. But maybe he'll get his head on straight. Maybe he'll get his head on straight, and maybe by April, maybe one of the last games of the year, you could see him getting on the ice just for 1 or 2 games to see how he plays. If he plays, play in the playoffs. Play him in the playoffs. Go ahead. If he doesn't, sit him, start him next year.
Yeah. You know, we've agreed with a lot of things so far today. I don't think we've.
So I have a question for you.
But I disagree with that.
I have another question. Who said before that we have all these pieces? Was it you, David, or was it Scott?
Chris.
Oh, it was Chris. I'm sorry, Chris.
Come on.
I'm sorry. I'm watching the game and talking. But Chris, you said we have all these pieces. You have all these pieces. Let's go through the pieces we have. We have all these young guys, these new guys.
Yeah.
What do you do with these guys that are developing, that are ready for their shots in the NHL, but you have enough space that you can't take them? Do you think we should trade Michael Dalcol and Josh?
That's
Hosang,
on Snow.
maybe?
Snow's a tough job.
Yeah, that's on Snow, but also Calvin DeHaan has been. I think we can all agree he's been great at the past 2 years, including this year. He's been awesome. And do I think he should have been 12th overall pick? Obviously not, but he's been playing like he's playing like he should be.
Horn just sounded Islanders win.
Yeah.
Okay, continue, Chris.
But
they have to pay the man.
Like he should have.
Pay the man.
Now he's a free agent this season, if I'm not mistaken. So does Garth Snow sign him to kind of I wouldn't even say it's a bridge deal. Would you sign him to like maybe a 1 year, 2 year contract, and then if the Islanders trade him?
Fun
to
fact.
a contender in the Western Conference or something like that. Because not
Fun
only would it
fact,
release
he's an
talent, it would
RFA this
also
year, and he's
release
25
roster
years old.
space.
Yeah, I do that.
Or maybe he's 24.
Capitan is
We-
25. Oh, he is 25.
Yes, he was,
Who we
and
currently
Tavares is
talking about?
26. Good point.
No, he's definitely 25
Okay.
because he was in.
So,
Tavares'
I
draft year,
think
Tavares is
we've-
26.
Jared, you want to go ahead and then we'll
Yeah.
switch it over?
Okay, guys. Yeah, I was gonna say I think we've hit it a lot for today. The Islanders just defeated the Philadelphia Flyers 3-1, and now 1 point behind them, which is very big.
I gotta make a graphic.
You go do that, Chris. Post Rolling Islanders. But Scott.
Okay,
why don't you tell
so
everyone what's
in
store
the
for-
future,
maybe
obviously,
one of the upcoming
looks like-
podcasts?
I won't give anything away.
Scott, don't give anything
Looks
away.
like our
Don't
podcast
give
schedule
anything
will
away.
be Tuesday, Thursday. They may be updated a day after, a
We got
day
some
before,
secrets.
depending on our schedule, depending on a person that we may have on schedule. We will have a surprise caller in the near future. I'm very excited to have him on myself. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like that's going to be really fun to have him on. And yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, so I'll just end it here. I just want to say thanks for watching. Our site's been really active lately. We have an edit contest. We got 20 entries so far. We've got hot hockey. We've got some good edits going on. So if you could beat one of those edits, that'd be sweet. We've got polls going back up on the site. We've got a lot of articles out. It's the heart of the season, trade deadline coming up. So this is where our site and our Instagrams are really going to stay active. And now with the podcast, we just feel it's another way for us to really become one of the best Islanders sites or communities on Instagram. So we're just on Instagram and on the website. So we're just really happy that you guys tuned in today. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for a special guest in the future and much more podcasts in the future.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Have a great night. Have a good rest of the day. And I
See ya.
can say for all of us, thank you.